Well, this definitely falls into the category of you can't make this shit up. When you follow Tennessee football, though, you don't need to make shit up. They give you plenty of stuff. We all remember laughing at Tennessee about this time last year because they backed out of a game against Army. That's humiliating and sad, and I went through the whole thing about that last year. They were set to honor a bunch of military people at the game in Neyland Stadium, of course, General Neyland Stadium. It was just a huge deal, and Tennessee backed out of the game because they didn't want to get their ass beat by a service academy at home. That's what they did. Well, who remembers a few years ago when they lost to BYU? Y'all remember that? BYU came to Knoxville, bent Tennessee over their knee, and spanked their little bottom blue. Humiliated them, beat them. Lost to BYU at home. Well, that was game one of a home-and-home series that Tennessee had scheduled with BYU. The first game played in Knoxville a couple of seasons ago, and the second game of that series played at BYU was supposed to be week 1, 2023. Well, I don't know if you've noticed lately, BYU's been hovering in and around the top 25 almost every year for the last couple of years, and Tennessee hadn't. So Tennessee has done gone and canceled the damn BYU game. That's sad. You're too scared to play on the road at BYU. Imagine the level of utter poverty you have to be scared to play on the road at BYU because they whipped you at home a couple of years ago. That's embarrassing and humiliating. Humiliating. And you're paying them $2 million. You're paying BYU $2 million just to keep from having to lose to them. You're going to play Virginia, one of the worst teams in the entire Power 5. You're going to play Virginia in Tennessee, in Nashville. This is humiliating. This is embarrassing to the SEC as a whole. We run around talking about how we're the best conference and we're this and we're that. And then you got Tennessee out here canceling games with Army, canceling games with BYU so they can schedule Virginia and Nashville. This is just humiliating and sad. Tennessee just continually finds ways to embarrass itself. I don't know. Oh, well, BYU's joining the Big 12, Lou. So, but how was Tennessee supposed to know about that? Well, I have to cancel the game. No, you don't have to cancel the game. And what do you mean? This was foreseen when the series between BYU and Tennessee was first scheduled to begin with. In fact, there's a clause in the contract that says if BYU joins a Power 5 conference before any of these games with Tennessee are played, BYU has the right to back out of the game with no monetary fee if they back out 24 months ahead of time. They have to give 24 months notice to Tennessee that they're not going to play. Well, there's a very good chance that BYU is joining the Big 12 in 2023, but that's more than 2 months away. So BYU didn't cancel the game. They weren't going to cancel the game. They were going to play the game. Just because they're joining the Big 12 doesn't mean they can't play non-con games. You're still going to have to play non-con games. The Big 12 plays, 9 conference games a year? Still have to play 3 conference games. So BYU was still going to play the Tennessee game. Still wanted to play the Tennessee game. You know who didn't want to play it? Tennessee. Scared to take another humiliating beating. I'd be lying if I said it didn't piss me off a little. I was looking forward to watching Tennessee embarrass themselves against the Bicycle College again. I really was. That was the year they lost to Georgia State, too. God. Lost to Georgia State in week 1, then lost to BYU in week 2. Y'all remember that? What year was that? That must have been 2019. I guess. My God. Scared to play Army at home. You're scared to play Army at home. Wow. And now canceling a game on the road at BYU after they came all the way to Knoxville to play you 3 years ago, and beat you. It's coming time for part 2 of that series, the home and home. First one was in Knoxville. It's time to play part 2 next season. Not this season, next season, 2023. You're supposed to play Army this season. Instead of playing Army, you're playing Ball State on a Thursday. God. Jesus Christ. Tennessee, man. What are y'all doing? Yeah, supposed to play Army week 1 this year. No, cancel that. Don't want to get beat by a service academy. So instead you change it to Ball State. ESPN gives you one of these, moves your game to Thursday. You're actually lucky that game got moved to Thursday, because if your game's on Saturday, no one watches you. They're watching good teams play. But look, but back to this. You canceled a friggin' series. You ought to be. You know what? You know what I'm going to do? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this don't even deserve to be up here. I'm going to put you down there. I'm going to put you down there with the teams that don't go on the shelf. Now we got to find, look what we put right here to fill the hole. There we go. Have a good morning.